Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Neil Haley Show. You can check me out on Twitter at Total Tutor and also at Total Radio Net. Neil Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Total Tutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, Google Plus, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor, Facebook Live, all those different places, neilhaley.com. You can find me everywhere. And I don't do all my own social media. I do it for my clients at neilhaley.com, but I don't do it for myself because I wouldn't have any time to work for my clients. But I'm excited always. Coach Karen Hall, WPL Hall of Famer, UNLV running rep, and ESPN analyst.
Yes.
And we have a really great guest that's very close to my height. I think we're about an inch difference or different things like that. And now I know why I recognize him.
Right.
He used to substitute teach for you when
Exactly.
you couldn't come in, when you didn't tell our staff, where's Coach going? And so tell us our guest, and definitely an unbelievable career for sure in basketball.
Well, Neil, this is sort of like part two for Coach Rogers because we do have our sports radio show. And so Coach Elvis Rogers, former Division I player, international basketball career, and Division I coach. So Coach Rogers, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're excited to go part two. So what we would like to do is a recap. So can you talk about how basketball became like that ball that became a part of your world, even as we sit here today?
Well, it started back when I was in North Carolina growing up as a young kid. And I used to follow my brother around who played football at Carolina. When he was in high school, I wanted to do what he did. So we would go out and we had a little basket out in the middle of a cornfield. And we made a path and we would go out there shoot with the bicycle rim on the as the goal, and you know that's when it all started.
Okay.
That's when it all started.
So take us to high school because obviously you grew a bit.
Yes.
And so you're playing high school. Can you give us the meat of your high school career?
High school.
And some of those people that played with you.
High school career. We were a 3A school, so my high school started when I was a sophomore in high school. You know, most start when they're freshmen, but I started as a sophomore. Didn't start right away, came off the bench. One of the seniors, the guy that was in front of me, he hurt his knee, so I came in and started from that point on.
Okay.
First year, we went to the States. We lost to the state championship by 1 point.
Okay.
Second year, my junior year, we lost 3 games.
Okay.
And we lost the game before the states, you know, which was disappointing because we've had players throughout our little area in Washington, North Carolina.
Okay.
You know, very good athletes. My senior year, Dominique Wilkins moved into the area. He had family there.
Okay.
And he moved in, so we played together. We lost our first game of the season at home, and we haven't lost a home game in 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And from that point on, we went on to win 28 straight games, ended up winning the state championship. And you know, we had police escorts and everything. We've always, like I said before, we've always had very good players.
Right.
And this kind of just set things over the top for the small town of Washington, North Carolina.
So let's look at, first of all, with Dominique, what position he played, and you were a center on that team?
We really, Coach Dave Smith, you know, God rest his soul, he didn't give us a position.
Okay.
What the guards did when we did ball handling, everybody did. Regardless if you were 6'7", 6'8", everybody did it. And he just said, because he wanted us to be developed and all around players.
Okay.
You know, he kept us humble, and he was a great man, a great coach, a great mentor. Never missed a day of school in 33 years.
So you really have, like, it was you and Dominique rotated positions in ways. You were both the same height, close to, or?
We were close to it. We never rotated in position. If I get a rebound, we're off and going.
Okay.
If he got a rebound, we're off and going.
Okay.
If you want to say our small forward, who was 6'4", if he got it, we were off and going. If point guard got it, we were going.
So you guys were ahead of the time because that's what happens today.
Right.
So the big guys get the ball, they're off and going.
Yeah.
So you were playing that style 15, 20 years
Right.
before.
Yeah, coach never said, "Well, Alvis, you're the center.
Okay.
Dominique, you're the forward." You
Okay.
know, he never put us in a position like that.
Who were some of the guys, or even if you don't want to tell us names, where did some of your teammates go to college? Like Division 1s, 2s, 3s?
Guy Sean Williams, who was 6'4", ended up going to UNC Wilmington.
Okay.
Obviously, Dominique Wilkins ended up going to the University of Georgia.
Right.
We had Eric Harris, who was a 6'2" combo guard. He ended up going to Evansville.
Okay.
We had some other guys who went to JUCOs and then went on to smaller divisions. But we've had on my senior year, we had about 5 guys who were D1 or D2.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, we had one kid, guy Hale Stevenson. He ended up going to North Carolina, but he ended up going into medicine. You know, he was about 6'5", 6'6".
Okay.
So
Before Dominique shows up, did you guys win the States, or this is?
we lost in the States my freshman year.
Okay.
And that's when I played with my brother. We we was 6'9", 6'5", 6'7", 6'6", 6'4" across. And my brother and I, we talk about it a lot now. And we've seen people who referee the game and those types of things. They say, you got robbed. And we did. We got robbed. We did.
So
Was there an outcry by Dominique showing up your senior year?
No, there wasn't an outcry.
Really?
No, there wasn't. You know, like I said before, we had athletes.
Right.
yeah.
He just came
What about your
in,
competitors, the other teams? Like he just ended up moving.
but
to
no
your
one
area?
knew about him. No one knew
So he
about
wasn't
him.
Dominique.
No,
then.
he wasn't.
Right.
He didn't have the name
The
that
stature.
he had. Right. That he has now. But
So was he scrawny Dominique and just
yeah,
high
he was
flying?
thin. He was thin. He could jump. You know,
Yeah.
it was a little wild at times. But you know, our coach again, he kept us humble.
Okay.
You know, he not only taught us about basketball, but it was
Yeah.
also about life. And,
So one of your mentors.
yes, yep, very well, very much so. He was
So
good.
your senior year of high school, were you planning to stay home in terms of going on to the next level? Did you know you were good enough to go to the next level? Talk about that recruiting, that whole idea of college.
You know, just playing. I didn't know how good I was.
Right.
I just played because that's what we did.
Yeah.
You know, I not only played basketball, I also played football. You know, I was a very good football player. And
Tight end?
I played quarterback. I
What?
played quarterback coming all the way up through
Nice.
midget and everything. And I had
How tall were
scholarship.
you when you were a quarterback?
I was about 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, so you grew even more. That's it.
Yeah. You know, I ran track in high school. You know, I ran the high hurdles, low hurdles, long jump, high jump, triple jump. You know,
So you played quarterback all the way to your senior year?
I didn't play football all the way to my senior year. I stopped playing after my
When the growth
going
spurt
into my
happened.
junior year.
Okay.
You know, and I just decided I wanted to focus on basketball and track. But like I said, I didn't know how good I was.
Okay.
I'd never attended a basketball camp or anything until the end of my junior year going into my senior year. The first camp I attended was the BC camp down in Milledgeville, Georgia.
Okay.
That's when I start to think I got something going on here.
Yeah.
Now I saw the recruiting with my brother, and I
Okay.
saw the coaches coming in, and come into the house. But still, I'm just a little bright-eyed
Right.
dude, just wanted to follow in my brother's
Right.
footsteps, you know. But still didn't have any. I wanted to do this,
Okay.
and I just wanted to play sports. I knew I wanted to do that, you know. I could have gone to East Carolina. Tennessee was recruiting me in track.
Oh,
East
wow.
Carolina was recruiting me in track, football, basketball.
Wow.
But I didn't know how good I was. And then I went to the Carolina basketball school and ran into James Worthy and
Right.
Buzz Peters and the guys like that.
Yes.
And that's when it really started, to
Okay.
click in. And the coaches, Coach Smith would get letters and things like, here, you got a letter from this school, you got a letter from
Right.
this school. You know, I got recruited across the country.
Were you more highly recruited than Dominique? Or same? Because again, you played Wake Forest.
Maybe I possibly.
Okay.
Because of I came behind my brother, and he was being recruited a lot. So the football coaches that came down, they saw me in practice with basketball and everything. So they were going back and telling, and he was recruited by Clemson, the Carolinas, the Wake Forests, the Dukes, the Georgias, and all those schools,
Yeah.
And so it was, again, I just looked, he got all the coaches in the gym. So, I just wanted to play and did what I did,
Okay.
And
So why did you stay home? Like, what was it about when it came down to decision making? You stayed home.
Stay home. I stay home, but I got away from home.
Right.
Because East Carolina
Yes.
is 18 miles from
Right.
my hometown. I could have gone there. I wanted to get away. Carolina they recruited me very heavily. East Carolina as well. Also NC State as well. Basically all the schools in the ACC.
So what year
Maryland.
was your freshman year at Wake Forest?
78.
78. Okay, so
the fall of
78.
78.
So 78. So you could have played for Jimmy V then. You could have played for Jim Valvano.
He wasn't there yet. It was Norm Sloan.
Okay.
Norm Sloan was still there. It was that's when they had Hawkeye Whitney, Clyde Austin, Art Jones, people like that. And Duke had Gene Banks, Mike Jaminski, Jim Spinarco.
Right. And North Carolina, Jordan's 81, right? 81,
Yeah, Jordan wasn't there
Right.
when it was Worthy as a freshman.
Okay.
You had Al Wood, Michael Corrin, Dudley Bradley, John Virgil.
So you had the shot of playing with Worthy, possibly.
Yes.
And you chose Wake Forest instead. Why?
I looked at their roster
Okay.
and I wanted to play.
Right.
And I saw that Wake Forest was losing two guys at the forward position. And Rod Griffin and Leroy McDonald. And I figure I have a better chance of coming in right away and starting. I wasn't worried about the sophomore guy that was ahead of me.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was my mentality. I'm
Sure.
going to beat him out.
Right.
But so that's why I chose Wake Forest.
So
As well as the education as well.
how was college and academics? Because it's a twofold.
Yes, yes.
How were you able to balance the two, the academics and the athletics at Wake?
Well,
Difficult?
obviously, it was difficult because I wasn't a great student. I wasn't a bad student, but it was more time management.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. And that's the thing I tell kids now, learn how to manage your time. And if you can manage your time and be on top of things, get things taken care of before they get too bad, then you'll be okay.
The executive functioning is a difficult thing the kids are dealing with today. They don't know how to do it.
Without a doubt. Because we had good tutoring program, academic support for the athletes there. The gentleman by the name of Jody Puckett, he was very good. He took care of us with the tutors and things like that, making sure we're taking the proper classes to graduate and the proper classes that for your major and those things. It was good. It was tough at first.
Okay.
It was tough at first. 'Cause,
Freshman year.
Freshman year was real tough. Because like I said, I wasn't a bad student, but I wasn't a great student as well. So I was right there. But we got through it, and here I am.
So I'm a point guard, so I'm going to fast forward. If I'm going too fast, I'll slow the ball up.
We'll take a break first. Then when we get back, we'll get more with Wake Forest star Coach Rogers. A lot of interesting things with Alvis, and then also the professional career.
Yeah.
Not enough time.
Right.
I remember the interview points, but again, everything's a blur with me when interviewing about. I just interviewed 7 people before you even came, or 8 people in the studio. Today. So you're watching the Neil Haley Show. We get back more Coach Alvis Rogers, Wake Forest star, professional basketball player, and coach now. We'll be back in just a minute.
I brought out a show on the radio about 5 or 6 years ago to try to share a lot of the information that I run across on a weekly basis with clients, and to share those experiences and the knowledge gained from other people's either mistakes or the correct decisions they've made and their successes, and to try to share that with the community so more people could benefit. So we came over and met Dave, and it was real easy. He said, there you go, are you ready? We're very lucky to have this and the resources over here, where it would be quite expensive to try to produce a show like this elsewhere. Bethel Park TV is offering it to all of us. I hope this grows a lot, and I hope a lot more people do take advantage of this. You're missing out on a marvelous opportunity if you don't. It's really a free gift for you to be able to share yourself and your experiences and what your value is with others at low to no risk. Anyone who's considering doing a show, come on out of your shell. Come on over here. Dave's very gentle, very nice. He'll help guide you through this. If you make mistakes, he'll edit it out and record it over, so don't worry about saying something wrong. Just come over and share what you have with others. Just be yourself, come over here and let other people see who you are, why you're here, and who you're trying to help and what you're trying to say. It is that easy.
We're back to Neil Haley's show, and I'm with Coach Karen Hall and Coach Alvis Rogers, and we're going into this. So I'm going to kind of, Coach always gets into these reminiscing things.
I'm the point guard. I got to,
No. I'm like, but you got to get going.
I'll pass.
Time. Time's not. You pass the ball to me.
Go ahead.
Let's go. We really talked about you had success when you were with Wake Forest. I remember that in our interview.
Yes.
That you guys went Sweet 16. What did you end up?
We were in the NIT. We got to the Final Four of the NIT. One of my years there. We were in the Sweet 16. They actually ended up getting to the Sweet 16.
Okay. So you were the better of the North Carolinas to a point, better than Duke at that time. Duke wasn't as good, right? Question. Yeah, because
they had their down years after Coach Foster.
Right.
They kind of hit a lull.
Right.
And even when Coach K first got there, they still were, just kind of maybe a mediocre team.
Right.
I think when they took office when they got Johnny Dawkins.
So Wake Forest and North Carolina State and North Carolina were the big boys in the ACC then.
Yeah. At one point in the year, we finished number 3 in the country as far as the final rankings.
Right.
Number 3.
So, okay. So, that's where I want to say, I just wanted to remind from the old interview. Now let's jump to your tryouts for the NBA professionally, all that stuff. Tell us about that.
I got drafted by the Kansas City Kings, which is now the Sacramento Kings, which is, they drafted me in the 6th round, but I hurt my knee my senior year at Wake Forest. So I didn't try out with them. I went over to Europe and played back in '84 and played 6 years over in Europe and in the South Pacific. In '88, I came back and tried out with the New York Knicks. That's when they had Rick Pitino. Charles Oakley was just coming over from the Bulls, Kiki Van Weer and all those guys. And I went in kind of with the mindset, I know I'm not going to make this team because I was pretty much damaged goods, but I wanted to give it a shot anyway. So I gave it a shot. Things didn't work out. So I wanted to get into coaching. I figured I wanted to give something back to basketball because it's been so good to me. And it took me places where I never thought I would be.
Especially overseas and the opportunities there. That's got to be unbelievable, right? And people keep forgetting a lot of these players that had NBA draft aspiration to be superstars had to go overseas because of contracts, because of teams not giving them the opportunity, so they become superstars overseas. They threw money at them that wasn't always available in the NBA, right? I forgot a couple of them that I've interviewed that they did have pretty good overseas careers, but they talked about that story and stuff.
And you didn't have that many NBA teams like they do now.
That's right.
You know, so space is limited. You know, and I figure me already being hurt before I even get there.
Yeah.
You know, it was going to be tough. You know, so but it was a good experience for me. It really was.
So you fast forward into your basketball career. The ball's about to deflate, but you want to pump it up again by throwing it to college student athletes. What were you thinking in terms of, let me go into coaching? Because I'm sure there could have been other things that you could have decided to have done, but you wanted to stay in the athletic world. So coaching is where you started. Men, women, how did you get started?
I used to coach some AAU teams back in North Carolina.
Okay.
It was guys. I worked with Greensboro Country Day back in North Carolina with Freddie Johnson down there. He brought me on his staff for a year or two.
Okay.
Had the privilege to coach Rusty LaRue,
Yeah.
who was a Wake Forest grad as well, doing AAU and those things. And I just wanted to give back. I wanted to stay around athletics in some capacity, and I just felt that coaching is probably the way to go. Then maybe move over to administration or something like that.
Did you look at the AAU as a training ground to your
Yes,
coaching?
yeah, and I did the 5-star camps.
Right.
You know, I used to be up here every summer at Robert Morris doing the 5-star, learning what it's all about. You know, and so that's, you know, I wanted to do that as far as the coaching aspect of it, and you know, so I started basically from the ground up. You know,
How did you get into the college? Why did you say the college level? Because that's where you've been.
yeah,
That's where you started. That's where you were fitting for that time.
right. How I got there, Dan Durkin, who was at Duquesne University at the time, and I was at Duquesne as assistant academic coordinator.
Okay.
And Dan had a young lady leaving his staff, and he asked me if I, you know, be interested, because when I was in Ireland, he was over there either as a player or coaching, and he knew me from being in Ireland, and so he approached me one day and asked if I wanted to. Would I be interested to coach the women?
Yeah.
And my first thought, I'd never coached women before, you know, and what would I teach them, and you know. But
So if I can interject, I have to ask. So at that point, did you think the game was different? Between, I mean, you've coached men and boys, and now you are being asked for given an opportunity to coach women's basketball. Were you thinking that there's a difference between the game?
at that point, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
At that point, I did. But I wanted to do the college coaching. Right. So, you know, and I pondered it and thought about it, and I said, well, okay, yeah, let's do this. You know, so that's when I first got into college coaching. Now, once I got there, I said, we're teaching them the same thing.
Exactly.
Right.
The only difference is the game is below the rim, and the guys are just bigger, stronger, faster.
Right.
But you're teaching them the same fundamentals as you would teach a guy.
Right.
What about the intensity? Intensity is the same, would you say, or is it similar?
It's similar.
Okay.
It's similar. Girls, they really get after it. They can really get after it, and they're sponges. And at the time, there wasn't any WNBA.
Right.
So they wanted to make this their WNBA or NBA or whatever, you know, or and there wasn't a lot of girls going over Europe and playing either.
Right.
So it was either college and you're done.
Right.
You know, so they try to make that their NBA.
So were you at Duquesne?
I was at Duquesne. I was at Duquesne on the women's staff for 8 years.
Okay.
And then I went over to University of Pittsburgh for one season.
Okay.
I was at the Pitt. I coached boys high school at Seton LaSalle for a season.
Okay.
And then I was at Youngstown State for 3 seasons with the girls and 1 season with the guys as the director of operations. You know.
And today you are?
Today I am assistant coach at Gateway High School.
Okay.
And do AAU coaching for guys and girls. And I do the Ozanam.
Okay.
We do the Ozanam after school program, and we get what we call the Breakfast Club, and also just help throughout with their summer leagues and things like that.
Right. Yeah. And what are you seeing from the game like Gateway compared to other, I guess WPL compared to other areas of college basketball? I mean, high school basketball and stuff, talent-wise.
We have some talent. We got talent out there. We're young this year, but we're going to be, I think, faster and quicker because we lost two guys, two seniors who could really stroke the ball.
Right.
So we're going to have to make up for that in some area. But we have a player in the middle, John Paul Crumpka, who is really who's going to be. He's a D1 player.
Okay.
And the Quade has some pretty talented players in the WPL right now. Right?
Yes, they do.
So Whippy Eagles has moved to 6A.
6A. So what are you?
Yeah.
What are you guys?
We're 5A.
5A.
We're 5A.
How will that impact the competition between where you were and where you are now?
Actually, I think it's going to make it greater because we're bringing in some new teams into our section, and we kept 4 teams. We had an 8-team section, and they took 4, moved them up to 6A, and kept 4 and kept them at 5A. We're moving them up to 5A.
Right.
And I think with the new teams coming in, it's going to really add to the section and also the competition because it's something new, but we also have the rivalries with the old teams that are in the section as well.
Who are they?
We have Franklin Regional, Armstrong, McKeesport, and Gateway. That's the 4 that stayed.
Yes.
And the ones that left was Plum, Fox Chapel, Woodland
So Fox
Hills,
Chapel went up to 6A?
They went up to 6A, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be hard for them. I think
Fox Chapel's always
had a pretty
competitive.
decent.
They're competitive. They are.
The twins were the two guards. One I tutored. I see. I'm drawing a blank, but they aren't twins. The brother was the starting shooting guard, and then the other brother.
I know you're talking. I can't think of his name.
At Fox Chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get good kids. They'll come to me in a second. The Ursos.
Ursos.
Oh, yeah.
The Ursos. Yeah, they were there. They but that was the one year finally Fox Chapel was starting to win.
Yeah.
So I think that's a hard transition for them to move up to 6A.
Well,
Did North Allegheny go to 6A?
Yeah, but they're a totally different section and everything.
Oh, great. So there's a lot more traveling, right? That's what they're
saying? A little
saying?
bit, yeah. A little bit. There will be.
So
but it's good for, I think it's good for Western PA.
Okay.
It's good for Western PA basketball.
Kind of branch it out, kind of
right.
space it out some.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take away the natural rivalry,
right.
But I think in overall it's good. Okay. It's good for the sport.
All right. Well, good luck at Gateway this year, and see how you guys do, and all the different things. I'll have to off air talk about 2 people I know from Gateway, but I won't say it on air. that I've tutored and one played ball there and some issue, and then the other I think is going to be a junior that came from Texas. So that plays football too. So I'll talk about that off air. But again, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck. Great part 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you were watching the Neil Haley Show. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.